TJ, Vilma, Glenda, Dominic, Nicholas, and Daniel, at the Maloney Brothers. I mean, they're all still in business, right? I mean, as far as you know, they're all still around.
I'm absolutely certain. I've
Yep.
been in touch with all of them the last couple of weeks. It's like, to me, that is the great untold story
Right.
of,
Tell me.
of COVID. Like, there's something. I am the media, right? I have the New York Times. I look at my resume, and it's we do a really good job of telling you all the bad things that can happen. But then we move on. There wasn't the great small business die-off that we were warned about. When I started this project, I feared, they're talking about 25% of small businesses going under, 33%, 40% of independent restaurants are going to go under. It's hard to tell. Well, people listening probably know well. Small businesses are always going out of business. The Fed did a fascinating study, I think, and they found, like, in a typical year, about 8.5% of small businesses shutter, go out of business.
Yep.
In 2020, 11.5% of the businesses closed. Now, there's a lot of sadness. I lost a couple of favorite small businesses in my life. I'm sure that's true a lot. If you go to college towns, they were hurt hard, right? I mean, all these students were in their childhood bedrooms, not in the dorm.
Or businesses in downtown centers. Workers weren't coming into the office.
Right. And so there was businesses really hurt, but there wasn't the economic carnage that we were warned about.
Why not? I guess that's my question. And I'm not expecting you to have.
I have the answer.
Okay, tell me the answer. Why not? Why is it when I walk around, Philadelphia right now, when I drive around in the suburbs? I was talking about that with my wife just the other day, and I cover small business. I mean, like I write about a small business. I look around, I'm like, you would never know a pandemic happened. I mean, there's no more empty stores than there was back in 2019. And, all the restaurants still seem to be around, and all the business, you just wouldn't know it. Why not?
Well, so by the way, at the University of California, Santa Cruz, there's a study saying there are more small businesses today than there were in 2019. Well,
certainly more startups, that's for sure. 10 million of them over 2020 and 2021.
Entrepreneurship is really up. It's great.
Yeah.
We've been talking about all of it, like the creativity, the ability to pivot of small businesses, the fortitude, the grit of small businesses, and something you rarely hear, but government worked. I mean, it was inefficient. We could critique it, but between EIDL and PPP, that's $1 trillion. They threw $1 trillion. The U.S. government threw $1 trillion at small businesses, and it's amazing what $1 trillion could do. And on top of that, stimulus dollars. Lots of folks got extra money in their pocket. Childcare money. Yep. Is kind of a check from the U.S. government.
Don't forget the restaurant revitalization fund. They help out restaurants. The arts funding. I forget the name of that. That helping out theaters and businesses in the arts world. I mean, there's a lot of support given by the government. And as we sit here today, like things still seem to be working. You know what I mean? The government didn't collapse. You know what I mean? Like